In order to survive, every living thing on Earth depends on sugar. Although sugar is often thought of as nothing but a component of unhealthy foods, there are many forms of sugar that are a key component of the energy that everything on Earth needs. In plants, for example, water and sunlight is converted into glucose to obtain energy. However, while this form of sugar is crucial, the daily average sugar intake for humans is more than 10 teaspoons over the recommended intake per day. According to a study done by the University of California, San Francisco, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar per day for women and 9 teaspoons for men. While this is what is recommended, the average sugar intake for Americans is 17 teaspoons daily. Consuming too much sugar can lead to many different health issues, including diabetes. All in all, consuming more sugar than necessary may be problematic for some organisms, but it is still one of the most needed parts of our diet. From the beginning of the first life on Earth, sugar has been used to keep organisms alive by creating their main source of energy. This carbohydrate is first produced in plants from a photosynthesis, a basic foundation to many ideas that are important in biology. Plants take in sunlight and water to create their own food, which is glucose, a form of sugar. Plants are categorized with producers because they do not rely on any other living thing to consume and get their energy. Because plants are producers and they have the ability to produce glucose, this puts them at the bottom of the food chain. The plants need to serve some purpose for other organisms other than a source of oxygen, however, and this purpose is to be a source of energy for other living things. Herbivores, for example, are animals that only eat plants to obtain their energy, meaning they too are very low on the food chain. When herbivores eat vegetation, the plants transfer their energy and their sugar levels to the new organism so that this new individual can survive. However, as I previously mentioned, these herbivores are at the bottom of the food chain because they only eat plants and are often not very good at defending themselves. Because of this, herbivores become the prey of predators that either eat meat, carnivores, or eat both meat and vegetation, omnivores. Once these organisms have consumed the prey, they have also obtained the energy and sugar that was present when the prey was consumed. This process and exchange of energy and glucose levels has been and continues to be a very necessary process since the first signs of life on Earth. A very different aspect of the large impact sugar has had on the history of Earth is collective learning. The first place sugar was used and cultivated in was New Guinea in 350 BCE. However, it later spread to being used across India and all the way to the rest of the Pacific Islands. This was obviously just the beginning of sugar being an ingredient used in almost everything we eat today. In 500 BCE, sugar was seen in the crystallized form we typically use today. This process was taught by farmers of one generation to the next, and soon crystallized or granulated sugar became the widespread ingredient we know of today. Collective learning also contributed to educating people on the different uses of sugar and what kind of food it can make. From cookies and cakes to surprising foods like salad dressing, sugar is incorporated into all of them, and we owe that to collective learning a very long time ago. Recently for sugar, it has been a big part of our economy. It has been known for a long time that the more processed an item of food is, the more added sugar there is, and the less it is good for your health. Although these types of food are not good for you, they sell very well, and they have become a big aspect in our economy. The purpose of adding more sugar to a product could be to give the consumer more energy, make it more addictive, or to improve the taste. Whichever it may be, these are all tactics to get us to buy more of whatever food is in question. So, not only is sugar necessary for all life on Earth to survive, it is also a necessity for food production companies to get us to continue to buy more food, whether it may be good or bad for our health. summarize, sugar is imperative for life on Earth. Whether it may be for animals and plants to produce and consume energy needed to survive, the recipes we have learned to create over time from past generations, or the success of the economic system to produce food that tastes better and gets consumers to keep buying their goods, regardless of how this affects their health. While sugar can sometimes be a good thing, it can also be a bad thing, and it is important to remember that there are good and bad forms of it. It is fine to have sugar in moderation, but it is something that could come with scary health risks, and you should try to keep foods with a lot of sugar out of your daily diet.